we need to talk about the GKA World Cup final in Gran Canaria. We need to address the elephant in the room. I think we have to do that. Because over the last GKA events there already have been some controversial things and some not so positive things, and I think everything just climaxed in Gran Canaria for the World Final Tour stop, and that's what we are gonna talk today about. Before we start, don't forget to subscribe this channel and subscribe my Instagram channel, because we're gonna do a giveaway for these nice rye ropes very soon. And let's start with my point number 1 of the GKA event in Gran Canaria. So, number 1, the live stream. So I watched the GKA World Final in Gran Canaria from home, and I must say, with all due respect, this is not the quality a world final of any kind of sports should have. Again, I know people put a lot of effort in that, probably, but still I believe that, I believe if we want to attract more people into our sport, into kitesurfing, or if we want to have more money in the sport, we need to have a higher quality for the biggest event. I mean, next to all the Red Bull events and Cold Hawaii maybe, we need to have better quality. Because if the stream quality is that low, a lot of brands will just shy away from kitesurfing. I think you should go there at least 3-4 days beforehand to find the perfect camera angles, to maybe test it while the athletes are training, and then you can set up everything for the final days where you can just turn on the stream and everything will look perfect. That goes a bit into hand with the sound of the stream. I think Yo, who was commentating everything, was sometimes completely gone, you couldn't hear him properly. And then this happened.
Hola, 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 hola. Ya lo sé, se rompió esta aquí, ya. Hola, 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 hola. Vale.
And don't misunderstand me wrong, it's funny, you can laugh about it, but still it's a world final event, right? This shouldn't be happening in a stream of a world final tour event. Number 2, the format. I did not like the format for the Gran Canaria spot. In general, I think we know the trick after trick format, where one rider does a trick and then the next rider does a trick, and so on and so on and so on. And don't misunderstand me, that's great for freestyle, for example, in lagoons, or for flat water spots like Balneario or in France. But this does not work in wavy, stony areas like Gran Canaria. So you could basically see the riders in front of stones, close to the beach, with gusty winds. The shore wave was breaking on them and they were just waiting to perform their next trick for 6-7 minutes in that exact spot. Then knowing that there are stones everywhere, that's an absolute disaster. What also played in there, that the heat was just going for 30 or 35 minutes, which was way too long. Again, also the rules, like everything that is happening in the stream, for someone who's not into kitesurfing, it's an absolute disaster. But yeah, this goes in hand that I fear that the GKA does not really think about what's best for the riders and what's best for the people that are viewing the competition. Number 3, the judging. And before I start that, mistakes can happen. That's totally normal. So there have been some questionable decisions with Luca Cerruti, for example, or with Jack and Jamie Overbeek. But the problem is that none of this was communicated at all. So sitting at home watching the stream, and out of nowhere just Zach was exchanged with Jamie and Luca was out and complaining afterwards, which was totally understandable. But you sitting at home, you don't get it at all. And I actually even argue if the riders at the beach did understand what was happening. But these things need to be communicated transparently. And then one more thing, and I don't know if I'm correct or if I'm wrong, but I've seen videos on the GKA Instagram channel of the riders briefing before the event. But it was on the beach with 35 knots, sand flying everywhere, and I was like, how do you even understand a single word of what you have to do in the competition? Like, that's really, I don't know. Yeah. Number 4, let's talk about the kite spot. Need to read that. Pozo Izquierdo, which is notoriously known for a lot of stones, for a lot of wind, but also for great conditions on the water. And I was quite excited to see the event happening there. But then when I saw what the GKA did to help the riders, I was not that excited anymore. Because some days before the event, we've already seen the athletes talking about the launching and the landing of the kites at that specific spot, which is super hard and it's not really easy with all the stones around. So I was expecting some platforms or some help where the athletes can safely, which is very important, the word safe, launch and land their kites during the competition. Looking at the live stream and looking at some pictures that I've seen, I only have seen some small plastic bags on the ground. But it did not look like a professional competition, but they need to have the best possible safety, and the spot and everything that was prepared for the spot did not look like that safety was the main point of their consideration. Number 5, last but not least, and probably one of the most discussed points during this event, was the wildcard. And Arian, you did a good job, but I think we need to discuss if we need a wildcard for the World Cup final of an event. It's nice to see young riders develop, but we are talking about the best kite surfers in the world battling out the World Cup. And I personally feel then also the best riders in the world should have had the chance to compete there. And I was missing some riders that could have filled up the spot of the wildcard. So my last words, what do I think? There needs to be things changed for the riders and also for the viewers to make the sport not only the safest and most attractive way, but also to make it the best consumable way and the most entertaining. Because at the end, we want to have our sport recognized, we want to have respect for our sport, and we want to have the best experience we can get. We want to have a good time, and I think we can change some stuff very easily to make that happen. See you in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Ciao.